Hey guys, Damon, Black Warrior Lures. Let's talk about Slinky Weights. I make these up now. This is about all I use now. Deep, clear waters. It works pretty well. What I do is I buy electric conduit, electric insulation. I mean, this stuff doesn't burn. It melts, but it won't burn. And I guess I can put the link to where I buy them from. I buy them on eBay. This is the half-inch version I use for catfishing. And this is about a 4-ounce weight. Right, that's what I use for catfishing. That's what I've been using. So much easier. These ideas, they'll just slinky around everywhere. You just fill them with BBs. You know, I just go to Walmart and buy BBs and put them in, singe the end, singe it off, and I don't even put a hole through it like most people do. I just tie it on directly. Now for brim fish and bluegill, you go down about a 1/4 inch. This is a 1/4 inch. The same stuff. As you can see, it's just tied on here like that. No need to put a hole in it like most people do. I don't know why they do that, but I think most people don't know how to tie knots. This is just the anchor hitch with a couple of half hitches, and that's it. And go up from there, and you have my hitch, my knot there where I put my hook and stuff. So paternoster style, and I use the big heavy one, the 4 ounces, because I can fish that almost directly below the boat with the hand line. And it's just, the hand lines work much better. Hand lines work much better with heavier line. And, of course, I'm in freshwater, but this is 20-pound Dacron versus 4-pound test here. See, with hand lines, you don't have the long limberness of the rod to absorb the shock, nor do you have the advantage of a reel's drag. You just have to do everything by hand. So you just need to have tougher lines. So I just sort of, for the kind of fishing I do, 20-pound test Dacron is sort of like a starting point for the freshwater fish I do. And I start with like a 4-ounce weight, that gets it directly below the boat just about. But for brim fishing, I use 1/4 inch. I think a nice happy difference would be 3/8. That'd be halfway between a 1/4 inch basically and a 1/2 inch. So 3/8, because a 1/4 inch is 2/8, a 1/2 inch is 4/8, 3/8 splits the difference. I think that's what I'll do from now on. Once I use all these up, I'll just get the 3/8, and it'll be the most adaptive. And I'm just out here doing some test casting with this for right now. See, I can't even see the line. And this thing, I love it because I can just grab it right there and just pitch it really well, right up there. Do a lot of practice on your pitching that way. Even without the hook, works just fine. Oh, got a little bit of a backlash there, and just pitching it there. Yeah, that's the thing I hate about this 4-pound line. It'll do that real bad on you. Now, because I'm only using 4-pound line with this, see, I can't see the line. That's why I love it. I can never find the 4-pound. I cannot see that line. Okay, but then anyway, there it is. I forgot what I was saying, but anyway, it's good to get out here and practice like that. And you'll lose a lot more of these because of this real thin line. I'm thinking about bumping on up to about 8-pound test line for brim fishing, but I really like that 4-pound line because you just can't see it. I can't see it. I cannot see it. And our eyes are way better than fish eyes, and so if we can't see it, they can't really. So I like that. And that's about the only cast I do anymore. Only time I'll cast a long overhead cast if I know I've drifted past a spot where there's some fish and I can know about where it is. I'll do, well, that was a poor cast, but you can cast a long way. I just didn't want to get it hooked up in the trees or nothing. But these Slinky Weights work. I mean, you see what it's doing. Let's just use this as an example. Let's go over here and use this this little growing bed here as an example. There's plenty of humps and ditches and things like that in the river. And so let's say you're just dragging across the bottom in the boat here. And, you're just dragging. And you get hooked up like that, guess what's going to happen? Well, that's not how it works. This doesn't have as much weight as the other one, but let's see if we can't do it a little bit better. You see how it just slinks across there? It just slinky. And it's getting hung up on everything now. It's not doing the way I'm wanting it to do because it's thin line. See, it'll get hung up on stuff like that, but let's see if we can't do a little bit better demonstration here. If you put it down like that and you pull it across, you see how it's just sort of pulling across there? And that's how it'll pull over on the bottom of the river like that. And you'll get hung up and you'll lose some, but you won't lose quite as much, quite as often. And so you're just pulling, just pulling, and that's how it is. And your hook's up here. That's another reason why you don't hang up much. The fish won't see that. I mean, that just, if anything, it looks like a leech or a worm or something to them. It's just perfectly natural to them. They don't know the difference. But the bait is up about 3 foot above, about half a fathom, about 3 foot above the weight there. And that's what they're targeting on. They see that weight moving, that they see that hook with that bait on there, and that's what they target on. That's my favorite rig now. Again, you're just pulling it across the bottom, nowhere near that fast though. And sometimes, you know, the bottom will drop out on you. You have to let out more line. But this is what they use out west to salmon and steelhead fish. And it works. So if you want to do some slinky weights, the easiest way to do it is, I'll put that link. If I forget, just remind me. I'll put that link to the electric conduit that I have. You need a lighter to burn the end and a pair of pliers or something like that to crimp the ends after they're melted. But I get a funnel and I just set it to length. You know, you can measure the length, half a foot, foot long, whatever you want. Fill it full of shot. You can either use shot or you can use BBs. You can use whatever. You can use rocks and you can use sand if you want. I mean, it doesn't matter what you fill it up with. And then at the end, you just put a lighter here, crimp it, and that's it. And you got it's sealed. You can put it in there halfway, kind of wacky worm style if you want. You can just have it slinky style like a worm if you want. You can do whatever you want. Now the BBs will eventually just sort of run down here to the bottom. You'll have a big open space up the top there, but that's just kind of how it works, you know. And you'll lose them, but they're so cheap to make that they're worth it. Okay, and so that's my deal on Slinky Weights. I need to make a bunch of the small ones because I like the big ones for the catfish. I like the small ones for the bluegill. And there we go. I think there's some military pilots always flying out here, maybe training. Seems like after the new year they're always seems like they get a new class in, and you hear jets around here all the time. But anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Slinky Weights.